This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, August 17th. I'm Jeff Hurt. My friend Stephanie Brandon. Feeling good?
Feeling great.
All right, let's go. Tennis star Naomi Osaka had a tough time at a recent press conference. We're diving right in today. It's her first one since revealing her mental health struggles and withdrawing from the French Open. So 3 months ago, it all started with a reporter asking her a question about her interactions with the press. Let's take a look.
You're not crazy about dealing with us, yet you have a lot of outside interests that are served by having a media platform.
What does that refer to?
I think we can move on to the next question, Naomi. Do you want to move on to the next question?
No, I'm actually very interested in that, point of view. I'm not really sure how to balance the two. I'm figuring it out at the same time as you are.
So moments later, Naomi broke down in tears and then had to step away from the mic. So do you think Naomi Osaka should get special treatment by the press, or is this the price she pays for being a public figure? Brandon, you played in NFL.
For
for a little bit of time. Had a nice little cup of coffee.
You played in the NFL, but you're around this. You're around the press.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm around the New York press and the beat writers when it comes to New York Giants football. And it's the same thing. People need to understand, okay, I understand that it is part of these athletes' jobs to do the press conference. Hey, just like Marshawn Lynch used to say, I'm only up here so I don't get fined. But he also said, take care of your mental and take care of your chicken being your money. And here's what people have to understand. Half of these athletes don't even like the fact that they don't even like the sport they play. They're just very good at it. You're just one of the you're one of the chosen ones. You're just so good at something. I have to do that job. What else? What other job am I going to get millions of dollars from just by going out there and playing a sport?
And perhaps get me out of the situation that I'm currently in, right?
Yes, change your generation, the generational curses that you're in and your environment, your family's environment. People have to understand that. So when it comes to, hey, I don't want to so much answer these questions or be pressured in something. The girl's, 15, 16 years old? Think about Michael Jackson when he was a young kid, Jackson 5. How do you handle all that success? How do you handle all that? So we're going to go back. We're going to look at this moment and go back to that Barbara Walters, Britney Spears interview when she kept pressing her until we can say that kind of led up to some of her mental breakdown. If we're not careful about how we're handling these athletes when it's coming to this, then we're going to have to reap the ramifications of it.
Right.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think, so many interviews these days are heavily screened, and what you ask is,
by the publicist, meaning celebrity-wise.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, like, whenever we do an interview, often we have to submit our questions beforehand and everything like that. And I think that should also be the case in this arena too, because in this case, there's loads of journalists all sat around in front of the sports star, and they're all firing questions out, and we see it at political rallies too. And I feel like in that moment, obviously anyone can stand up and say anything, but I think if she's made it very publicly known that she suffers in that moment, she's really struggling, she's doing her best, she's trying to fulfill her contract, and then you're saying, hey, you want to reap the rewards of being I think there's a certain line which you don't cross, especially when it comes to someone's mental health, and she's sitting there struggling in that moment. And then I think she did so well to try and redeem herself, stay on top of it, and try and answer the question, which is why she broke down afterwards. I think she tried to look as though she could handle it. She did her best, and she clearly was extremely unhappy. So I think, there needs to be a line of, if someone's struggling, you just simply don't go there out of a matter of respect. It doesn't matter.
I could argue both sides of this one, but I'm going to take Naomi's side on this. No, just because I feel it necessary too, because I want to go after the reporters in this case, not necessarily Naomi Osaka. Even though she does make money off of those press conferences as well as other athletes, it's kind of built into your contract. I don't want to take that side. I want to go with Naomi today. She did kind of have a publicist there saying, let's move along.
God, yeah.
I want to applaud Naomi for saying, hey, listen, I kind of want to know why you answered that question. Kind of like the Jason Momoa thing when he was asked that question, do you feel some sort of way about your character?
The sex scene in Game of Thrones.
In Game of Thrones, when he played a quote-unquote Genghis Khan type character.
Yes.
And he was a mean guy, raped and pillaged.
Yep.
And then he made almost Jason Momoa feel like that. And the next question he followed up with, Jason Momoa goes, hold on. It makes me feel a little icky that you asked that. Naomi kind of pushed back a little bit too.
She did.
Yeah.
And I like that stars and celebrities are pushing back a little bit because it's weak journalism, in my opinion, right?
Thank you. Yeah.
You're up there, you see the blood in the water and you attack. She gives all of her money she's making is going to Haiti. Right? Where's the question about that? Isn't that more important? I'm nobody, right? I was on Big Brother 12 years ago. I've traveled the world with no money in my pocket after 100 days. I've done multiple things. I've been on this show for 5 years. I've come a long way in my career. When people want to do an interview with me, which is few and far between, granted, they go back to the same thing. It's the same question. They want to know the downfall and the worst part of my life. Hey, remember when you said this 12 years ago? I do. Do you remember when I climbed Mount Fuji? Did you know I did that? No, I didn't. Oh, okay. Well, then ask your questions and see if you can get clickbaits. It's weak journalism. I'm glad people are starting to push back.
Yeah, and I realize that, yes, it is in the athlete or the celebrity's contract to do these things, but remember, the people in the press, you're only there because of how great she is.
Yeah,
remember that. At the end of the day,
yeah.
You're only there because she's great at what she does. Act accordingly.
I like that. All right, Barbra Streisand is changing her tune about the latest remake of A Star Is Born. So as we know, Barbra starred in the version of the movie back in 1976 with Chris Christopherson. Back in 2018, Barbra said she liked the new version, but when she was recently asked about the film on an Australian talk show, she said Lady Gaga's version was too similar to hers. Let's watch.
But I thought it was the wrong idea. It was a big success, so I can't argue with success, but I don't care so much about success as I do originality.
Ooh.
So in fact, check this out, I didn't know this. She heard that Beyonce and Will Smith were supposed to star in the new version, which she says would have made it very different.
Wow, that would have been I mean, I love Gaga, I love Barbra. Barbra's the icon. She is an icon on another level, higher than Gaga and higher than Beyonce. Don't come at me, but she's the original. She's a Hollywood OG.
You're paying homage, I like it.
She's the
Yeah,
queen.
I mean,
Queen of queens. She's the queen
gracious.
of the queens.
Okay.
So I hear what she's saying, but can you imagine, I'm going to ignore her slight shade, which she's entitled to because she was the original, right? Can you imagine if Beyonce and Will Smith had done that? It would have been so different.
I think it would have been a success, though. I think it still would have been a success.
Oh, yeah, but I think it would have been so different.
They both were a success. Obviously, Will Smith, Beyonce, that would have been a hit as well.
Yeah.
I think this is kind of getting taken out of context a little bit. I'm going to jump on Bab's side here because that's my homegirl. And plus, there's a story behind that.
Yeah, no, we have to say the story about Brandon was like, what, you mean Duck Sauce song?
No. Okay, really quick before we go on. Okay, we were in the meeting.
That was
We were in the meeting room back there. We were talking about Barbra Streisand, and everyone was like just going gaga over her. And I'm like, y'all talk about the lady from Meet the Fockers? And everybody in the meeting room was like, why did we hire this guy? Like, why? Like, other than that cute face and win a date with Brandon, why did we hire this guy?
Hey, that's what a lot of people want.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But here's the thing. All she's saying is she's saying a lot of what we all are saying. Like, it was good, it was successful, I get it, they made the money, but the originality, and that's when we were coming with these reboots and these remakes, that's what people are saying. All you guys are doing is taking the same story and just flipping it in our modern era. She wanted to see something completely different creatively, and I think that's what we all want to see in a sense. Shout out to Babs.
What makes you like Barbra Streisand so much?
Because she was in Meet the Fockers, and they were like, you know the part where in the voice message, she was like, oh, get him a chimichanga. You remember that part? That's my favorite part.
Of course I do, but she's done a lot of great things before Meet the Fockers.
As I have read on Wikipedia, because I was
I've seen on those movie things. You guys, make me feel so old. Coming up on DBL, our interview with reality star Whitney Way Thore. She's giving us a sneak peek of the newest season of My Big Fat Fabulous Life. And have you ever wondered what Beyonce smells like? I know I have.
Really?
Yeah, we're going to talk about it next. I was thinking about it when we were talking about it.
So, day 2 of my last week here, we were reminiscing, but it was in that very meeting room back there. I really had zero clue who Barbra Streisand was at the time. This is my Streisand. It was like my first 3 weeks here at Daily Blast Live, and it was just one of those gotcha moments. It was absolutely hilarious. But that's one thing about just the growth that I've allowed, this show has allowed me to have, and I've learned so much. Not only just politics and all the daytime type shows that we talk, but just the entertainment aspect of things and knowing who's who the players.
I thought you knew Barbra Streisand from the song. Do you remember that song? Ooh, Duck Sauce.
Barbra Streisand.
I had that in my head. I thought that's how you knew.
I forgot all about that. No.
I thought that's how you knew who she was.
Yeah, and it was just the way everyone looked at me. Like, it was. Okay, so it goes back to a time. It was in New York City. We just had a great Sunday fun day at Bounce Sporting Club there. And this was years ago. We go to watch the Oscars at one of my friends. He's like, yeah, I got this buddy, real successful. Walk into this huge loft. So we're watching the Oscars. Great spread, too. Great spread. And then, what's the guy? Michael Caine.
Yeah.
He wins for something. And I go, oh, that's Alfred from Batman. And everyone looked at me, were like, you know, that's how you know Michael Caine, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how you know Michael Caine.
He knew him from Batman.
I knew him. I was like, oh, that's Alfred from Batman. He won an Oscar. everyone looked at me like, dude, he's like one of the most accomplished actors out there.
Yeah, but you're a younger generation.
And you
know what I
only
mean?
know him.
So that's okay, I think, to say that.
But just,
I think
it was
so.
just those 2 moments were like.
No, but there's been times like that as well,
man.
where I've had things where I've not known who were you were talking about someone
Dude,
the other day?
Pete Rose, I said
Yeah,
Jerry
I got loads
Seinfeld.
of-
They didn't know who that was.
No, who was the guy that was sports guy?
Pete Rose.
Yeah, I got so much grief in my DM. Like,
Did you really?
People were like, oh, she thinks
Good
she's
for
a
you.
celebrity. She doesn't know what she's talking. I'm like, I just don't know who someone
Thanks,
is.
haters, for getting my side.
Yeah, I was like, give me a break. I don't know.
All right, we're gonna play this game now.
Welcome back to DBL. We've been talking a lot about celebrities and their bathing habits. In fact, even though Matthew McConaughey doesn't wear deodorant, he apparently smells like granola and good living. All right, that's not bad. So we wanted to find out what other stars have been told they smell like, okay? You ready to play What Do You Smell Like? For example, Beyonce, what do you think Queen Bey smells
I
like?
think she smells really luxurious, like expensive creams.
Expensive creams. I'm going floral. Remember that picture with all the flowers?
Do auras have a smell? Because if auras had a smell, whatever aura would smell like, that's Beyonce's
How about like
smell.
bubbles?
Okay, I'll do bubbles and sprinkles and like all that, unicorns, all that, in something
all that
majestic.
stuff.
What's the answer? What does this
Okay, so let's see.
smell
Actually,
like?
according to model Winnie Harlow, Beyonce smells like lemons and cocoa butter. You said lotion.
Yeah, I thought she smelled like really creamy, like nice.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Lemonade was an album, and she is a shea butter baby.
I feel like we nailed
like
it.
that.
Yeah,
We
shea
nailed
butter
it.
baby.
All right, here's the next one. Oprah. Ooh, what do you think she smells like, Oprah?
I bet she smells like flowers. I wasn't going to say very floral.
Good one. I said earlier, I said a Barnes and Noble because just
Oh, like books?
like
Ooh,
books
when you
and like
open a new
mahogany
book and you go like
wood.
that?
Yeah.
I'm going with that one. I like that smell.
That was a good
Actually, I don't, but it brought me there. It
A
brought me there.
bookstore. A bookstore.
You know, like when you open a brand new book and you can smell it?
This is Oprah.
Oprah's book club.
We're going outside the box
Okay,
here. I
here we
like
go,
it.
here we
Well,
go. Yeah.
there are 2 answers to this one. So actor James Marsden has said that Oprah smells like diamonds.
Diamonds don't smell.
I'm with you. That doesn't have a smell. And Andy Cohen says Oprah's scent had a floral note with
I
a
can
hint
imagine
of gardenia.
I can imagine she smells very floral.
You can
very
answer floral for
wisteria,
everybody.
yeah, I can imagine her smelling very floral.
Yeah.
You know that smell on a person. I'm not even going to say it, but you know that smell like floral smell.
I gotcha. Okay.
Wait. Oh,
my
a different type of floral, like medicinal floral smell, right? Oh, that's what she.
No, that's
never
what
mind.
Brandon Leonard
I mean,
smells.
literally, she smells like
whoa.
flowers.
Or maybe that could be good for this next one.
Okay.
What about Kanye West? What does he smell like?
Floral.
Medicinal floral. All right, there you go. We can use it for that one.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does or
I
doesn't.
agree with Brandon.
You think he smells like? I think he smells like.
Musky.
Oaky.
Musky.
Yeah, you know, like that
Yeah.
good cologne, like in the wintertime.
Ooh, like so you like a darker cologne. I think
Yeah.
of a lighter scent when I think of Kanye.
Really?
Because I think he sweats a lot because he wears baggy clothing, heavy shoes, and all. You know.
All right, well, let's see. One should come. There's no. Or did we get an answer? This should come as no surprise. His ex, Kim Kardashian, says he smells like money. There you go. It smells like money.
Cool.
Because if she really wanted to make the press, she could be like, he smells like a deadbeat dad or something. We could have really
She's
been
never
talking
gonna
about
say
that. But I'm
that.
just
Who
saying,
makes more money, Kanye or Kim?
at that point, it's like Giselle and Tom Brady.
It just all
At that
smells
point,
the
we
same.
balling, baby.
It all
We
smells the same. All right, Robert Pattinson. Any idea what he smells like?
I bet he smells more like light.
Listen,
I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say.
I don't want to get racist here, but he smells like vanilla. I'm going vanilla.
Yeah, light,
How's that
airy
racist?
I don't know, white.
smells.
He's white. He's very white.
Like
In the
Vanilla
movie.
Ice?
I can't see
No,
him
like vanilla, like he's Dracula, like he's white in the movie.
Dracula smells like vanilla, like a coffin.
What color's vanilla?
White, I guess.
What color's Robert Pattinson?
Very white.
There you go.
All right.
Don't push this any further than it needs to go.
No, I want to get you canceled by your own people.
What do you think? By my own people. How dare you? So what do you think he smells like?
I think very light. He's got like a more of like an airy, sea breezy, slightly vanilla-y smell.
Okay.
cigarettes, leather jacket with a white tee underneath.
Nah.
Ooh, all right, well, Robert has said that people have told him that he smells like crayons.
What?
I wouldn't have got
creative.
that one.
Yeah.
All right, let's sneak this last one in. Meryl Streep, what could the multi-million award, or
Oh, she's
what
gonna
does she smell like?
fabulous. She's gonna smell unbelievable. She's gonna smell like money, like expensive, like ouds with the touches of like some kind of rose or something.
I think she smells like
Fabulous.
BS.
Whatever perfume Corella DeVille wears, I think she smells like that type of expensive scent.
Yeah, expensive oud, rose.
Babs
All
wears
right.
it too.
Definitely.
I'm glad you guys kind of didn't hear mine. All right. So the answer is success. Success, of course. That's not a smell, though. Come on.
Yeah,
Diamond
Neither is
success.
Yeah, these are silly.
The S part does.
Crayons. Can you imagine being told you smell like a crayon? How disappointing. How disappointing.
How would you describe Brandon and I's smell? Very quickly before we go.
I've never got close enough to know what you smell like, so I don't know.
It's the social distance.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably for a good thing.
Talked about it. I smell like success too.
All right, coming up on DBL, we're getting a dose of body positivity from Whitney Way Thore. How her show, My Big Fat Fabulous Life, is helping others be more accepting of themselves. Welcome back to DBL. She knows firsthand that in order to find your prince, you need to kiss a few frogs. So can Whitney Way Thore find love across the pond on the new season of My Big Fat Fabulous Life? Tori Nell spoke with her earlier in today's Chatting with the Stars.
He is my French tutor. Je m'appelle Whitney. I want to see if I can turn my tutor into a suitor.
Ooh, hi Whitney, welcome to DBL. You are a beacon of light for body positivity. You believe body shaming and judgment are not welcome. I love that. Is that message getting harder to convey or easier? I just wanted your take on that.
Oh, I think it's definitely getting easier. I mean, I just look at, through the 9 seasons that My Big Fat Fabulous Life has been airing on TLC, it's a completely different landscape. In fact, I think that the way I got started was through a viral dance video. And I think that if I'd done that dance video today, it would have gotten absolutely no attention. But that would actually be a wonderful thing because we're more used to seeing fat women doing things in the public eye. So it's definitely getting better, but we still have a lot of work to do.
Well said.
Well, Whitney, there are people that ask this question because they're trying to be divisive, and there are people that are going to ask this question because they genuinely want to know. So what do you say to the debate that you can't be healthy and overweight? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it's nonsense. However, what I would really say to it is that it doesn't matter. We don't look at people who have cancer. We don't look at people who have other health problems and say, well, we loved you until. this happen to you. We only do that to fat people. So I would say that it doesn't matter if we're healthy or not. Skinny people can be healthy and unhealthy. It makes a person no less worthy or deserving of respect, period.
Lovely. I like how she's just like done,
ended
period.
it with a period.
Yeah,
with a T.
with the T at the end. I love that. All right, now I do want to get into l'amour. You ended your engagement last year. Since then, you've been busy looking for love, my dear. I want to know, was it hard to start dating again after being in such a committed...
You know, I wasn't really looking. It just happened, and I think it's pretty like quintessential pandemic project to get involved with someone online who lives across the ocean. But I think something that COVID taught us is that we're all just really striving for connection. And I think a lot of us turn to the internet to achieve that in ways that we never would have if we didn't have to. So it was a surprise to me. I think it was definitely a surprise to him as well. And I'm happy to report that I did just actually return from France like yesterday. So I have taken the relationship from virtual to 3D. But you'll have to watch the season to see how it all turns out.
Those are better. Those are 3D relationships.
Now. I love
4K. That's always better for everyone.
You know, when I saw this interview on the schedule, it just hit me that you've been on my television for a long time. So you know something about being famous. You know, they say that it's not all it's cracked up to be. What's the biggest downside of fame for you?
Well, I think certainly the lack of privacy, which is something that I just deal with. But the French man, for example, does not deal with that. He does not want to be like a really public person. So he is actually blurred throughout the season. He's covered up on my social media.
Good for him.
It's a really difficult thing to deal with and a lot to give up. And I think also just the fact that I'm a target, a very public target for harassment, hatred, abuse, and not only online, also in real life. But there's also a lot of positives that come with it, and I'm really happy to do what I do ultimately.
You know, it's funny. I married a very private person.
I was going to bring your husband
Is that
up,
right?
but I wasn't sure if that was cool, but yeah.
Yeah, so I feel you about that. It's really interesting. A lot of our co-hosts also married quite private people, and I'm like, the openest book, the best ever, you know? So is there any secrets you can share about new season coming up? Anything?
Well, I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but I am one step closer to having a baby. I'll say that.
Yeah.
And my Nobia's active fitness platform is expanding in really awesome ways. And I mean, you know, there's a love story here that I think is worth watching. It's definitely been worth living. So yeah, I hope people can see that and feel seen.
I love that. All right, we can't wait for this. Thank you, Whitney. DBL Nation, do not miss the premiere of My Big Fat Fabulous Life, Tuesdays on TLC. Love is in the air. I can't wait. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Whitney.
Thanks, Whitney.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
so we keep addressing it. No, the vaccines do not cause infertility. Now, as important as it is to say that, it's also important for us on the Verify team to explain how we know they do not cause infertility.
This question came in from a viewer. Heard many rumors about long-term infertility rates surrounding the COVID-19 vaccines. Can you verify this? We sure can.
There's no evidence that fertility is affected at all by the vaccine.
Our sources are Dr. Tony Shalley, a reproductive toxicologist, and the CDC. The CDC has an entire webpage dedicated to vaccines and pregnancy. And at the top it says very clearly, currently no evidence shows that any vaccines, including the COVID-19 vaccines, cause fertility problems trying to get pregnant in men or women. People have received vaccines for years, and Dr. Tony Shalley says infertility has never been a concern.
No, vaccines don't cause infertility. There's also no mechanism that would suggest that theoretically they could cause infertility.
So we can verify, not only do the COVID-19 vaccines not cause any fertility issues, no vaccines approved in the U.S. have been linked to fertility issues in men or women.
You can understand the concerns about new medicines and vaccines. However, numerous professional medical organizations also recommend people wanting to get pregnant get the vaccine. So let's say it again. There is no evidence of any fertility issues caused by the COVID-19 vaccine or any vaccine. With your Verify, I'm Matt Gregory.
Welcome back to DBL. So we have a little time left, and we're just sounds so weird. We're just trying to guess what Stephanie smells like.
Oh,
Go on,
yeah.
what do you reckon?
Peppermint tea mixed with the Guns N' Roses concert. Bam. Put that together.
I mean, that's not my smell, but I'll take it.
How about a cucumber sandwich?
Dang.
Don't you eat those with tea?
Dang. That was
No
a little
good?
offensive.
Water down.
First he called white people vanilla.
Very basic.
Now-
We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.